Good evening. It's July 7th, and welcome to Cape Media News, your source for hyperlocal news that matters. I'm Trish Garnett. In a heartwarming event at West Dennis Beach, 4 Kemp's Ridley sea turtles were released back into the wild after undergoing several months of rehabilitation at the New England Aquarium in Quincy. The turtles, which were discovered cold-stunned on Cape beaches last December, have made a remarkable recovery under the care of the aquarium's dedicated team. Cold-stunned sea turtles wash up on the beaches at Cape Cod every year because of the rapidly changing water temperature and wind patterns. Many turtles cannot escape the hook-like area of the Cape Bay before becoming hypothermic. Most turtles complete their rehabilitation within 8 months and return to the ocean waters south of the Cape in the summertime. The successful rehabilitation and release of the 4 endangered Kemp's Ridley sea turtles marked a significant milestone. The event, which was open to the general public, drew a large crowd eager to witness the turtles return to their natural habitat following their recovery at the New England Aquarium. The town of Yarmouth is planning to undertake beach nourishment and long-term maintenance dredging in several channels in the area, including the Bass River, Parkers River, Lewis Bay, and Nantucket Sound. The purpose of this project is to maintain safe and navigable gaps in the navigation channels. According to Bill Bonetti, the director of the Division of Natural Resources for Yarmouth, the permit covers maintenance dredging rather than new dredging. About 20% of the dredged material is expected to be used for beach nourishment, which involves placing sand on eroded beaches to raise their profile and enhance coastal resiliency. The remaining dredged material will be placed on beaches above the high tide line or in an upland location. The beaches targeted for nourishment include Barry Avenue, Colonial Acres, Seagull, Thatcher, Seaview, Bass River, and West Dennis beaches. Bonetti mentioned that they have to consider time of year restrictions due to the spawning cycles of certain species and nesting habitats of shorebirds. This means that dredging activities will be scheduled to avoid interfering with spawning and nesting schedules. The town is willing to work with local residents and address any concerns regarding the project's impact on wildlife. The deadline for filing comments on the proposal is July 13th, and comments should be sent to Charles Farris. Every year, officials of the Dennis Water District mail out postcards to residents and businesses with information on how to access the annual water quality report. This report provides an overview of last year's water quality and includes details about what's in the water, where it comes from, and how it compares to the state's standards. The 2022 water quality report is now available. And good news, the water supply is safe. The water system did not violate any maximum contaminant levels or other water quality standards. You can visit denniswater.org to see the full report and other information regarding the Dennis Water District. Cape Symphony's Joy for July concert in Asselton Park on July 4th was unfortunately canceled due to the harsh weather we experienced on Independence Day. The free concert was intended to be the culmination of the town of Barnstable's day-long celebrations of street parades, a boat parade at Hyannis Harbor, and music on Main Street. No rain date was announced for the concert, but Cape Symphony will be holding another free concert next month at 7 p.m. on August 24th at the National Seashore's Salt Pond Visitor Center in Eastham. Like Joy for July, next month's symphony at the Seashore will be led by conductor Jung Ho Park. Park is scheduled to step down from his position as artistic director and conductor of the Cape Symphony at the end of the summer. Cape Symphony will feature a string of guest conductors in Jung Ho Park's absence, and his successor will be announced in spring of 2024. The Steamship Authority has embarked on an environmentally conscious journey by procuring 3 electric buses. These buses will serve as shuttles transporting passengers between off-site parking lots in Hyannis and Falmouth to the Hyannis and Woods Hole terminals. The move signifies the authority's commitment to transitioning its entire fleet of 28 buses to electric vehicles, as announced by Steamship Authority General Manager Robert Davis. Furthermore, 4 more electric buses are expected to join the fleet later this summer. Between the buses and ships, the Steamship Authority's transportation sector has a substantial contribution to greenhouse gas emissions. Their efforts to adopt electric vehicles have been praised by Stephen Tupper, the Cape Cod Commission's Deputy Director. Despite the initial investment, the authority expects significant long-term cost savings thanks to the decreased maintenance expenses associated with electric motors. The Steamship Authority is charting a course towards a greener and more sustainable future with the acquisition of these 3 electric buses, emphasizing its unwavering dedication to environmental stewardship and the reduction of the carbon footprint. Towns across Cape Cod are facing a significant challenge as they contend with new regulations aimed at addressing nitrogen pollution in their watersheds. As of today, July 7th, the Department of Environmental Protection strict measures that require impacted towns to take action within a specified time frame become live. According to the DEP regulations, affected towns must submit a notice of intent to file a watershed permit or apply for one within the next 2 years. Once granted, towns will have a minimum of 20 years to implement comprehensive nitrogen reduction plans. Failure to secure a watershed permit will require property owners in nitrogen-sensitive areas to upgrade or replace septic systems within 5 years. Fortunately, 4 towns within the Pleasant Bay watershed, including Chatham and Harwich, already have a pilot Pleasant Bay watershed permit in place. This advantage allows them a head start in addressing nitrogen loading in their estuaries and embayments. Additionally, Barnstable, Yarmouth, and Dennis, as well as other Cape towns, have completed comprehensive wastewater management plans or similar strategies. The DEP's regulations aim to combat the long-standing issue of nitrogen pollution, which has led to poor water quality, harmful algae growth, and adverse impacts on the ecosystem and shellfish beds, a vital component of Cape Cod's fishery. By implementing rigorous measures to reduce nitrogen discharge, the region seeks to safeguard its precious water resources, which play a pivotal role in driving the local economy. For further information on the new regulations impacting Cape Cod, individuals can visit the Mass DEP website at www.mass.gov and put septic systems into the search bar. The website also provides an interactive map highlighting the watersheds affected by the regulations. Cape Cod Roller Derby has some exciting events lined up for all wheels enthusiasts. First up is the first annual Cape Cod Rollout, coinciding with Worldwide Rollout Day on July 9th at 9 a.m. Join the gathering at Old Town House Park in Yarmouth as people of all ages and abilities come together to celebrate movement on wheels, skates, bikes, scooters, skateboards, wheelchairs. All are welcome. Choose from a planned 1-mile, 5K, or 5-mile out and back route, or customize your own distance. The first 25 registrants will receive an exciting rollout goodie bag. So secure your spot and roll out in style. If you're curious about the roller derby or eager to learn roller skating, mark your calendars for the upcoming open house event hosted by Cape Cod Roller Derby on July 11th. Head to the Cape Cod Community College gym for a thrilling roller derby experience. The open house is divided into 2 sessions from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. ages 7 to 17 can join, and from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., ages 18 and above are welcome. No experience is needed. Everyone is encouraged to participate. Whether you're a beginner of dreaming of becoming a roller derby pro, this is your chance to get involved in the exhilarating world of roller skating. Don't miss out on this exciting opportunity to roll out with your fellow enthusiasts and discover the joys of roller derby. The Bourne Substance-Free Coalition is creating resource bags for inmates to take when they leave the Barnstable County Correctional Facility. The bags contain toiletries, a substance use resource guide, and naloxone nasal spray and fentanyl test strips, which are both overdose prevention tools. The bags were created by the Coalition in partnership with Bourne Fire and Rescue, Bourne Emergency Services, Bourne Police Department, and Upper Cape Cod Regional Technical Schools Interact Club. As a clinician, I know the importance of giving people the skills to succeed, said Beth Griffin, licensed mental health counselor and chair of the coalition. I'm thrilled that Barnstable County Sheriff Donna Buckley understands that. She sees the real picture. Coming up after the break, an inside look at a different drummer craft event. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Trish Garnett. Step into the world of a different drummer craft fair where creativity and individuality take center stage. This extraordinary event brings together artisans and innovators to showcase their one-of-a-kind handmade creations. With over 40 vendors participating, this unique market invites visitors to embrace the unconventional and appreciate the heartfelt craftsmanship on display. Mitch Sock has more.
Welcome to the Different Drummer Craft Fair, where imagination takes physical form in a world where creativity reigns supreme. This is not your everyday market. No, this is a celebration of the unconventional, the unique, the handmade, and the heartfelt.
So I paint furniture, and I call that my thinking art because I have to really think about the designs and colors and which go together. And then I also do alcohol ink, which is I'm going to be free and just go with it and have fun with that kind of art.
I love color and I love to make things. This is Just Tickled, and I've been doing it for about 14 years. I would say everything in this field is made by the crafter, yeah.
Well, put your fears away, because Jubo's the easiest instrument to play. With Image, you can learn to play scale sight read on day one by using JuboTab, an easy-to-read music notation system. Within weeks, you'll play lots of songs and melodies and compose your own music creations.
This is called Retro Nuevo Jewelry. I make new jewelry out of beautiful old treasures, whether it be jewelry pieces or old buttons or even Cracker Jack prizes and gumball machine prizes. Anything that I think would make fun, interesting jewelry.
These artisans, creators, innovators, they march to the beat of their own drum, creating not just products, but pieces of their soul for the world to cherish. They are not confined by convention, nor do they seek to simply keep pace with the mainstream. Instead, they listen to their inner rhythm, their unique cadence that inspires their creativity and passion.
I am the organizer of a Different Drummer craft event, and this particular show, it's the second year I've been running shows, but this is the first time we've been in Harwich. And I have 41 vendors here today.
So far, it's been wonderful. The weather held out, which I'm very grateful for. I'm relatively new to Massachusetts, so this is only my fourth craft show.
We have a Different Drummer at Brewster on July 15 and 16, again in August 5 and 6, and then in September 9 and 10, we're back here in Harwich.
If man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. These words by Henry David Thoreau perfectly encapsulate the spirit that echoes throughout the aisles of the Different Drummer Craft Fair.
My furniture, it's all bright, glow-in-the-dark neon colors. I mean, you could put any of these in the dark, boom, they glow in the dark. They're awesome.
This is made with vintage porcelain jewelry They were manufactured in England right after World War II. People wanted happy colors as a response to the war. So most of them were in the form of brooches and earrings. I found a lot of them at a thrift store, about 100 pieces, but most of them are broken. However, by doing a collage piece like this, you can hide the imperfect edges and really make a statement necklace out of it.
It's fun. I'm glad to see people happy on Sunday night when they go home.
If you don't have a Jubo, the one that I have here on view, if you don't have a Jubo, your girlfriend will say, shame on you. With a price so low and so simple to blow, just ask for a tune and I'll give you a show. Then you can play a Jubo. Come try one and buy one today.
For Cape Media News, I'm Mitch Sock.
We spoke to Chief Kevin Lennon about the use of police canines and therapy dogs in law enforcement, and the impact that Coffee with a Cop events on Cape Cod can have in promoting conversations between officers and Yarmouth residents. Here's Christian Garnett with more.
Full name is Kevin Lennon. I'm the Chief of Police with the Yarmouth Police Department.
I'm your narrator, Christian, and I met with Chief Lennon at the most recent Cookies with a Cop event at Love April in Yarmouth. These are recurring events that exist to bridge the gap between law enforcement and our community.
So these are the events we're trying to do throughout the community. It's a great opportunity for the police officers to come out, meet with the citizens. The citizens get to talk to the officers on a different level. It's not like when they encounter them on a motor vehicle stop or with dispatch to their house. They can come in a very comfortable setting, meet the officers, find out who they are as people, and really build those community connections. So this is important for us to do.
Police canines and therapy dogs were a highlight of the event, and the Yarmouth Police Department was more than happy to tell us all about them.
So we have two types of canines. We have a drug dog. His name is Gage, and he works with Officer Ambrosini. And then we have two patrol dogs. We have Setu and we have Freddie, and they work with Officer Kramer and Officer Breen. We actually have a third dog. It's our comfort dog, and that's Finley. And Finley works with Officer Brewer at the New Intermediate School. So the patrol dogs work with their handlers on the shift, and they would be used for apprehension or for friendly fines. Gage is used for narcotics detection, and then Finley is used as a comfort dog. So if somebody in school is having a problem, they can go down, they can see Sean, they can sit down with the dog, and a comfort dog brings a different element into the school environment, which is something that's pretty cool. We started that program in November. We were one of the first departments in the area to get a comfort dog, and it's been a home run since we were able to get her.
Obviously, this event has passed, but there are many upcoming Cookies with a Cop and Coffee with a Cop events coming up in Yarmouth and the other surrounding towns.
We're trying to do this once a month. Our next one is going to be Coffee with a Cop. It's going to be the Old King's Coffee Shop on Route 28 in West Yarmouth. We're going to do that in July, and we're trying to move it around. We're trying to hit different businesses and attract different people to come out. And it's just a good opportunity for citizens to come in, sit down, have a cup of coffee with a police officer, talk to them about anything they want to talk about. We're trying to just bridge the gap between police and the community, and again, build those relationships, allow people to come out in a friendly setting, speak to the officers, and get to know them on a more personal level.
Thank you so much. That was everything I wanted to ask.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming out.
To find upcoming events like this one, reach out to your local police department through email or check their social media pages for updates on future events. I'm Christian Garnett, and this is Cape Media News.
Coming up after the break, Chief Sonnabend from the Barnstable Police Department discusses new Massachusetts road laws. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Trish Garnett. Massachusetts authorities are implementing new road safety laws to protect vulnerable road users with the aim of reducing accidents and ensuring the well-being of pedestrians, cyclists, and other non-car road users. These laws require drivers to maintain a minimum distance of 4 feet when passing. As summer arrives and the amount of traffic and pedestrians on Cape Cod surges, Chief Sonnabend from the Barnstable Police Department recently sat down with Channel 18 to discuss the key provisions of these laws, shedding light on the details. Take a look.
As summer arrives on Cape Cod, the region experiences an influx of visitors, leading to increased traffic and a higher volume of pedestrians and cyclists. To address road safety concerns, new laws have been enacted aiming to protect vulnerable road users. Chief Sonneman from the Barnstable Police Department discusses the key provisions of these laws.
The law in the state used to be that if there was a pedestrian or a bike or a horse or whatever in the lane of travel, you had to give them a reasonable amount of distance and you had to slow to a reasonable speed to go around them. The problem being with that is everyone's definition of reasonable is a little bit malleable.
The updated law eliminates the subjective nature of determining a reasonable distance and establishes a clear standard of 4 feet. Drivers are allowed to cross over a yellow line if necessary to pass a vulnerable road user safely, without fear of being pulled over for the violation.
And the law now defines that as 4 feet. It doesn't leave it as reasonable distance anymore. It's 4 feet. And you are allowed to pass over a double yellow line. So if the 4 feet would carry over a double yellow line, you have to go over a double yellow line to pass somebody, you're now allowed to do that. So if I was driving behind you in my police car and you went over the double yellow line because you're going around Johnny Jones who's walking on the side of the street, I can't pull you over for going over the double yellow line. You're given that pass in that circumstance to go over the double yellow line, provided you're doing so safely. It's like, don't do it around a corner. You got to be able to see clearly that you're not going to run head on into the Mack truck that's coming.
Right.
But you get 4 feet. So that it really helps people to decide because let's face it, you're driving down the street and you're like, well, am I far enough away from the bike? Am I too far? And everyone tries to stay in that lane because they don't want to get over, and you end up being too close.
Violations of the law can have serious consequences.
If you get into an accident and you hurt someone that was a vulnerable road user, then you could go to, you could face an enhanced penalty, you could face jail time, you could get, you might have to go to a traffic school and complete that. You could get your license suspended or revoked or whatnot. There's a lot of these things were in place before, but they were kind of haphazard. They weren't all brought together under one umbrella. So the vulnerable road user law brings a lot of these things under one umbrella and makes it a little bit easier for the state in particular to keep an eye on violators of that law.
The new laws aim to create a safer environment for all road users in Massachusetts. By increasing awareness and adherence to the vulnerable road user law, the state can prioritize road safety and protect those who rely on non-motorized transportation. For Cape Media News, I'm Ryan Thompson.
The Cape Cod Classics Car Club is making waves with their Saturday night car shows at Patriot Square in Dennis. With a rich history dating back to the 1950s, this family-oriented organization has become a driving force to the Cape Cod community, captivating car enthusiasts and giving back to the local charities. Here's Ryan Downs with more.
For over half a century, the Cape Cod Classics Car Club has been captivating car enthusiasts with their remarkable collection of vehicles. From striking antiques to macho hot rods and everything in between, this family-oriented organization consistently attracts enthusiastic crowds to their weekly cruise nights. Every Saturday night, from May through the third Saturday in September, Patriot Square transforms into a hub of automotive excitement. As the sun begins to set, locals and tourists gather to witness an extraordinary lineup of classic antiques, muscle cars, trucks, resto mods, classic exotics, and even the latest electronic vehicles. The diversity on display is truly awe-inspiring, showcasing the rich history and evolution of automobiles. From meticulously restored antiques that embody a bygone era to powerful hot rods that exude raw power, there's something for everyone. But the Cape Cod Classics Car Club's dedication extends beyond the road. Through various fundraising activities, they give back to the Cape Cod community. Proceeds from events go to local Cape charities, supporting those in need. The club also awards Toolship Awards to students graduating from the 2 Cape Tech schools, as well as scholarships to children of club members. The Saturday night car shows at Patriot Square have become a beloved tradition for Cape residents and visitors. Whether you're a devoted car enthusiast or simply appreciate the beauty of these remarkable vehicles, the Cape Cod Classics Car Club welcomes you to join their weekly cruise nights and be part of this iconic Cape Cod tradition. For Cape Media News, I'm Ryan Downs.
Thank you for joining us this evening. If you have a story you'd like to see covered, send us an email at newstip@capemedia.org. Tune in next week for more hyper-local news that matters on Channel 99, Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. For Cape Media News, I'm Trish Garnett.